Good afternoon, friends. Happy Saturday, everybody. Dr. Tony McNeil here with another pop-up conversation. How are you? I hope everybody is doing well and excited about this Pentecost weekend that is happening in Christendom all over the world. Good afternoon. I am here this afternoon to share in a time of conversation with one of my client churches, Lewis Chapel Missionary Baptist Church from Fayetteville, North Carolina. For those of you who follow me, you know that outside of the work that I do as a professor at Columbia Theological Seminary, I'm also a worship arts consultant, and I work alongside senior pastors and search committees in their effort to find qualified music and worship leadership for their congregations. And so today I am blessed to have with me the senior pastor of the Lewis Chapel Missionary Baptist Church, Reverend Dr. Christopher Stackhouse, and the coordinator for the search committee for the search that they have going on, Miss Beverly Rich. I'm going to bring them on in a few seconds. I just want to get a sense of who might be watching. It says I have 4 or 5 folks on now. Keith Eason. Hey, Keith. Good to see you, man. It was great to see you at the Hampton Ministers Conference this past week. I hope everything is well with you and yours in Houston, Texas. And any of you, anybody else that's joining, wave at me. Just let me know where you're joining from. Hey, Stephen Hurd. The minstrel himself, Reverend Dr. Stephen Hurd from Washington, D.C. at First Baptist Church, Glen Arden. Thank you so much for joining, Stephen. And anybody else that may be chiming in, let me know that you're watching and where you're watching from. We are broadcasting on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on my YouTube channel, and hopefully also on Instagram. Yeah, it's showing on Instagram as well. Okay. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So yes, today we're here to bring an awareness about the full-time job that is available now at Lewis Chapel Missionary Baptist Church in Fayetteville, North Carolina. They are in the process of receiving applications for full-time minister of music and worshipful arts. It's a very comprehensive job description and a great opportunity for the right candidate. I see my frat brother, Reggie D. McCaskill from Winston-Salem. Hey, Reggie. Thank you so much for joining. And if you know a minister of music, whether they are employed or if they're looking for a job or church musician, tag them on this video, tag them on this post, and encourage them to watch. And even though they might have a job, they might know somebody who needs a job, who may be a good candidate for this position. All right. So without any further ado, I'm going to bring on my guest, Pastor Christopher Stackhouse, Reverend Dr. Christopher Stackhouse, and Miss Beverly Rich, and formally introduce them as our featured conversation partners for this afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Hey. Good to be here. Excited about this whole endeavor and glad to be working with you, Dr. McNeil, on this.
Thank you so much, Pastor, and glad to have you, Mrs. Rich, here on this pop-up conversation here on this Saturday afternoon, on this day before Pentecost. And so we're here. I wanted to bring folks here to get a chance to meet you, Pastor, and definitely also you, Mrs. Rich, to add a face and personality to the job description that a lot of folks have seen pop up on my Facebook page and Instagram page, and also on my website. But I wanted to provide an opportunity for us to talk a little bit about the job and to bring some clarity to the job description, and also open the floor up for any questions that folks might have regarding the job. And I see folks are still coming in. Yes. Come on in. Welcome. I'm here today for those of you that are just coming in with another pop-up conversation, talking to Reverend Dr. Christopher Stackhouse, who is the senior pastor at the Lewis Chapel Missionary Baptist Church, and Miss Beverly Grayman Rich, who is the chairman of the search team, the coordinator of the search team. Okay, so let's dive right in, Pastor Stackhouse. I want to start with you. Tell us a little bit about Lewis Chapel. Can you give us like the elevator speech that you have for folks that you encounter, or for people who come up to you and say, tell me about your church? What do you have to say about Lewis Chapel? Who is Lewis Chapel Missionary Baptist Church?
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, let's get into it. First of all, I do have to give this slight disclaimer. I have 4 kids and it's Saturday, so you may or may not hear them in the background. To that, it is what it is. But Lewis Chapel is an amazing church. We're 114 years, celebrating 115 years soon, but 114 years old. But
Daddy, Leah wants to be alive.
girl, y'all go play and get along. Go play and get along. Go ahead. Or else you stay in here. Thank you. All right. Interruption number 1. We'll see if we can get through a little while longer without that. So, but yeah, we are, even though we are a historical church, we are a relevant church to today. If you look at our worships, if you see how we engage the community, you will see we are very active, very involved. We do things that reach the community, that helps those that are in need. We have 4 choirs. We have over 50 different ministries within Lewis Chapel. We have 3 worship services well, actually on a Sunday morning, we have 5 worship services across our 2 physical campuses. Our social media presence is robust. It is, we average somebody engaging with Lewis Chapel social media every 2 seconds. So we are a very energetic ministry. We are a relevant ministry. We are a ministry that puts God first. Let me make sure I say that as well. We're a ministry that puts God first, but we make sure that we have that we celebrate God and have a good time doing it. And that's a Lewis Chapel. That's a Lewis Chapel. Let me also say very diverse. Very diverse in terms of who attends, the age groups, the family dynamics. You will find us to also be a very loving church as well. People are surprised because they get a concept of large church means kind of cold or whatever it is. But you will find us to be a very loving, very warm and accepting congregation. And you know, when you walk in, you know what you find out, Sister Rich? You belong here.
You belong here. So that is sort of like your motif, your motto that you use to affirm your mission and your vision for the church. That's awesome. Yes. You belong here. Miss Beverly.
Yes, sir.
Tell us a little bit about your experience at Lewis Chapel and as a member of the music and worship arts ministry there.
Well, I have been a member of Lewis Chapel for close to 40 years. That's right. I know I don't look it, but I am. I have been involved with the music ministry ever since I stepped foot into Lewis Chapel Missionary Baptist Church. Love music, love to worship the Lord through music. Our music ministry has evolved. Now we're talking, I'm talking 40 years. Think past that. As Pastor Stackhouse shared, very, very diverse. We have 4 choirs. We have a senior choir. We have it's called our New Vision Choir. And it's basically around the young adult age range. We have our Set Apart Praise Choir, which is our youth. They on fire. They are on fire. Then we have our Kingsmen. You think of a male chorus. Well, our Kingsmen you could consider them a male chorus, but they've got a style all their own. And we have, of course,
award-winning.
The award. That's right. Let me. That's right, Pastor. You correct me. The award-winning Kings King's Choir. Yeah, they won a couple of awards. But the key to our music ministry is that, and our arts ministry is that you can find, you can use the gift that God gave you anywhere in this ministry. Anywhere in this ministry. You just got to want to do it. And the person leading the ministry should be able to motivate you to do such. Anything else?
That's good. That's good. That's good. Now, which choir do you sing
on the SIG Mass Choir. That is the Senior Inspirational Gospel Choir. You know, I could still sing on the New Way, but it would be a little tough.
Awesome. And you are doing a fantastic job serving as the coordinator of our search process. Well, and it's been a joy. I have to say this public. It's been a joy to work with you and along with the rest of the team. And things are moving along. And we are here today, for those of you that's just joining, just to bring even more awareness to the full-time Minister of Music and Worship for Arts position that is available now and at Lewis Chapel Missionary Baptist Church in Fayetteville, North Carolina. And I'm going to move back to you, Pastor Stackhouse, with this next question. Why is Lewis Chapel seeking to hire somebody for this job? And what are your hopes? What are your pastoral hopes for this position and your vision for worship for the church going forward?
Okay, let me see if I can take those one by one. Those were three. So first of all, while we're looking, we had an absolutely phenomenal minister of music and worship for arts, and Brother Will Harris, who is no longer with us. We did not part ways through any controversy, no drama, anything like that. Is God gave him an opportunity to start a next chapter. He felt it was and knew that the direction God was leading him in. We had a conversation about it, totally mutual, respectful, and to this day, I continue to be a strong supporter and advocate for him and his ministry. Like I said, he was with us for 15 years, and he served with excellence. And you know, I think the way he served was just phenomenal, and I think even the way he made his exit was just professional and phenomenal as well. So that's why we're looking for a new minister of music now. He served with us for 15 years, and God called him to this new chapter that he's in now. Matter of fact, he's the one that recommended you to us, and which shows you how good of a standing and relationship we had, that he would feel comfortable enough to make that make a recommendation, and that we were so much still friends that I accepted that as well. So yeah, he just did a phenomenal job. But that's why we're looking for a new minister of music now. And the second question of that was,
what are your hopes for this position? What are your hopes for this position and your vision for the music and worship arts going forward?
My hope for this position is that we can fill this position with someone that is very comfortable in their own skills, gifts, and abilities. Because we're all called by God with our own gifts. And I think sometimes we do ourselves a disservice because we're trying to be somebody else or trying to be like somebody else. And those, I think, that excel in ministry the most are those that understand how to maximize their own God-given gifts, skills, and abilities. So I'm looking for somebody that is comfortable in their own skin, comfortable in what God has given them in the ministry of music that God has given them. And because when a minister of music works with me, I consider them, my right hand in worship. So essentially, if I'm there and they're there, there's nothing on Sunday morning that we cannot handle. If the choir can't, whatever. If the musicians can't, whatever, no problem. that person is there. And on the other side of worship, if something is not as it should be, or something goes a little off schedule, no problem, because I got that on that end. And eventually we even get to the point where I can just look over at them and we just kind of do it, and they know what we need to do next. We work in conjunction with one another. That's how I believe it functions and works well. I don't like to look over your shoulder a whole lot. I like to give you creative freedom. Like, of course, we need to be on the same page, but outside of being on the same page, I think you operate well. I think creatives, because that's what I call. I call creatives. I think creatives do the best job when they aren't given every specificity, but given more of a direction to go in. Like, let's go in that direction. You can figure out how we get there, what you want to do on the way there. But I just want to give a direction, and then let your own God-given skills and creative abilities to lead you how to get there. Because if I could do it, then I wouldn't need you. So I just want to give that overall direction, guidance, and then let you use your own skills and gifts to get us there.
Well, I applaud you, Pastor. I'm sorry for interrupting.
Oh yeah, no. Go ahead.
I applaud you for being collaborative and being respectful of leadership, and allowing leadership to determine in collaboration with you, of course, the direction of or the process in which how the ministry will get to the destination that you provide. So that's not common in a lot of ministries.
Listen, if I had to lead you too much, you ain't the right person for this job.
That's right.
At Lewis Chapel is a large ministry.
Yes.
It's a large ministry, and we have a lot of things that are going on. So if I have to give you a lot of guidance I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
I honestly do not have time for that. So if that's what you need in order to function, or in order for the job to be done right, this ain't gonna work. Because I don't have time. That's why I just need you to trust. Say, we going in that direction. And you say, Pastor, I got it. And then when we get to Sunday morning, you got it. Then that is the best scenario for me. If we got to have a whole lot of meetings and all that kind of stuff, you ain't the person I need. I need to be able to have a conversation with you, and you take that and run with it.
Absolutely. So Pastor, I'm gonna ask you another question to continue what you're saying. Can you just give folks, for those that have never watched a worship service or ever attend a worship service, what would you say, or how would you describe the Lewis Chapel flavor of worship?
I think of worship as if you visualize it, Sister Rich, you know how I am. I'm a visual, descriptive person, like a river. That worship flows. There is a flow of worship. And to me, from the outset, we have the announcements from the outset, because I like to get announcements over with. So because to me, announcements, once again, slow down the flow of worship. So the first thing we do is give the recorded announcements, and then once the recorded announcements in, then we get into worship. And when worship starts, we going. So we have a fantastic praise and worship leader, and once worship starts, we are in the flow of worship. And that it is two opening songs. After that opening song, we have our call to worship. Follow that call to worship, we have our opening and Lord's Prayer, which is a unique Lewis Chapel dynamic. Sister Rich, I have not seen it elsewhere. The way we had an opening prayer, and then we have and then we end our song by singing the Lord's Prayer. It's just a good communal moment that we end that prayer. We end with the individual praying, and then in that prayer with us singing the Lord's Prayer together. It's a significant moment as we continue to enter into worship. After we get done with that, then the choir sings one more song, after the choir sings that song, then we then I get up and greet everybody and recognize anything that needs to kind of be reemphasized. I do that, and I welcome everybody that's in. Like I said, we have very good online presence, what we call our connected campus. So we say hey to our connected campus. We give the worshipers a chance to greet each other, because I'm really about fellowship. One of the things that happened in the pandemic, we kept worship, we lost fellowship. So because you can worship on the screen, but the fellowship is different. I'm very big on fellowship. So even when we are in spaces like this, or online spaces, we know that fellowship and connection matters. That's why we say, hey, chat, tell us what's happening. Let us know where you're from. Because even that creates community in that space. So I'm very community intentional. So we take a moment to say, hey, how you doing in the physical space, in the connected space. We will sing a song with that, and then it's preaching time. So it's not a long service, but it's designed to keep the flow of worship moving and significant. Worship needs to be both passionate, it needs to be exciting. I think it needs to be, and I'm gonna say this too, it needs to be enjoyable. We enjoy worship as well. So Lewis Chapel worship service holds some elements of all of those things. And when we open the door of the church, I love to open the door of the church. So and the minister of music and I, we work in
tandem
as a tandem with that as well, because I want a certain tone set with that as well. So it is that's a Lewis Chapel worship experience in a nutshell, so to speak.
Okay, Miss Rich, you want to add anything to that? Any descriptors or any ways of describing the flow of worship or the energy in worship at Lewis Chapel?
No, Pastor pretty much touched on all of it. I did wait for him to use the word experience, and he did, because it is an experience. When we look over the years post-pandemic, he has not said, but I will say it. The congregation, it seemed like every single Sunday we had a new member coming to the fold. There are Sundays that we have to go into our overflow, which is great. But what is wonderful is that those who are coming are of that age that they have small children. And so that is the drawer is our children's church for those young adults with those small children. But we're here.
Yeah, we have an incredible youth ministry at both campuses. We have an incredible youth ministry. It is very engaging, and it is from ages 18 months old to 18 years old, and it's every Sunday that the youth ministry has. So, and there is a musician, minister of music that works with them as well with the little kids choir. We forgot about the little kids choir, because the little kids have a choir as well, and they sing periodically in the sanctuary. Whoever this minister of music is, it will be a multitude of facets of music ministry that they will have to manage. This isn't I got 2 or 3 choirs. It is a music and worshipful arts ministry, and so your ability to manage and to juggle the multitude of those responsibilities is going to be a must. And I'm sorry, Sister Rich, but when you got to talk about the youth ministry,
that's all right. I know that's your passion. And
it is. We love the kids.
We love the kids. So the last piece would be, Pastor mentioned managing all of those entities, and yes, that's essential. It's essential to lead. It's essential to lead. You can manage a whole lot of stuff, but can you lead this ministry in a direction that we and the pastor visions it to go through God's vision to him?
Amen. Wonderful. I have a question here from Donald Knight, who says, what is the weekly service schedule like for Bible study and other services? Pastor, you already talked about you have 2 services on Sunday. And how does the musician effectively fit into those services?
Okay, so yeah, we have 2 services. The first service of a Sunday morning is 7:15 call-in worship service, and they have a music ministry in that as well. We forgot about that choir, Sister Rich, the 7:15 a.m. choir. So led by Sister Wolf. So so they have a music ministry facet of that as well. But the 8:30 is where the minister of music in this position on Sunday mornings will have his or her first responsibilities leading the choir. The choir arrives at 7:30. They do some warm-ups, things of that nature. Oh yeah. Listen, when you're in the Lewis Chapel Music Ministry, it's a commitment. It's a commitment because you're going to rehearse twice leading up to the Sunday that you're going to sing, and then you're going to sing twice on that Sunday at both services, because we want you to be at both services. Don't come in at 11 o'clock being like, well, I can wake up now. No, we want you to make that commitment to the choir and to the ministry, singing in both services. And very blessed to have a congregation of people that gladly do so. And I mean, and in there 7:30, singing to the glory of the Lord.
Amen.
Hey, 7:30. That's right. If 7:30 too early for you, this ain't for you.
Somebody said, "My God, 7:30."
Oh no, it is early. It's early, but you're done by 1 o'clock. No, it's not like a lot of people go into their jobs at 7:30 and they're not done to 5. Yeah. So I mean, when you put it in perspective, it really ain't. It's really not out of the ordinary, especially if you want to be a minister of music in this kind of ministry.
With the territory, right?
Yeah, in this kind of ministry. That is what it is going. That is what it's going to take. This ain't for the lazy,
right?
This ain't for those that like, man, I just want to be seen, and they got a large platform. Listen, you got to have a passion for the Lord. You got to have a passion for music and ministry and His people, and all those things need to converge. But yes, 7:30 is early when you're talking about traditional Sunday morning, because traditional Sunday morning early might be like 9 or something like that. But anyway, so. So 7:30 they'll be warming up. Band is there, digital media and sound and all of that. They're all there because all of those components have to work in conjunction with each other.
Absolutely.
The sound, the visuals, all of that, they all have to work in conjunction with the choir and the minister of music and the band. And so they have to talk. So they talk on Thursday, have a live rehearsal of everything that needs to be done, how it needs to be done, what visuals need to accompany, different things in order for all of that to blend to make the most effective worship experience for those that are physically in the sanctuary and for those that are going to be connected with us, because both of those things are equally important. It's a word we use at Lewis Chapel, duality. And we are a church that wants to serve God with excellence and with duality, whether you are in person or online. So they arrive at 7:30. By 8:30, call to worship. And at Lewis Chapel, we start, Sister Rich,
on time.
I love it.
Listen, if I have to go in there myself, and start up which ain't really what I do.
No.
But I tell you this, the time we say we're gonna start, that's the time we're gonna start.
Yeah. That's
so
good.
I just believe in honoring people's time. With that. And so 8:30, we're going to be rolling. The 8:30 worship is generally about an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So after that, we go to Sunday school, and then by 11 o'clock, we have reassembled in that space, and the 11 o'clock worship, starts from there.
And you have another campus.
Yeah, and at our Rayford campus, same schedule.
Okay.
Although I think their minister of music there may arrive at 8. Or 7:45. I think it's 7:30. It's even 7:45 or 8. And if there's anything that needs to be adjusted with the minister of music at our Rayford campus, that responsibility falls to the minister of music that will be filling this position, because all responsibilities involving, I'm doing an umbrella. All responsibilities involving music, worshipful arts, is this person's responsibility to manage and to lead.
So there are 2 campuses, okay, and there is a music team or music leaders at the Rayford campus.
Yes,
which is the satellite campus, and then the main campus in Fayetteville is primarily where the director, the minister of music and worship for arts will take a more active leadership role.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, and they also asked about Bible study. So Bible study Lewis Chapel Rayford is on Tuesdays at 6:30, and the musicians, minister of music is there, and Bible study at Lewis Chapel Fayetteville is Wednesdays at 6:30, and the minister of music gives 2 opening songs there, and then they stay for and do another song during the offering. Right. And then as I open the door of the church at the end, they'll place the music for that.
Okay. Very good.
So it's really not any singing for that last part. It's most of the time just playing to accompany the moment.
Okay. Ms. Rich, tell us a little, and you alluded about this with the when you were talking about the men's chorus. Tell us a little bit about the various ministries, especially for those that are joining late and didn't hear it early. If you would quickly review the various ministries and choirs and organizations in the within the music and worship for arts ministry, and what kinds of things have they done in the past? What are some of the accomplishments of the Lewis Chapel music and worship for arts ministry?
Okay, well, we have. I'm going to go through the choirs once more. We have the 7:15. This is the main campus. 7:15, 8:30, and 11 o'clock. All worship services. At the Rayford campus, it is 8:30 and 11 on that campus. The minister of music and worshipful arts is responsible for both campuses. Even though there might be a musical director there, that musical director still would have some ownership with the minister of music. We have a senior inspirational gospel choir that sings out traditional music, but we also sing mass choir music. That's what we're about. We have our New Vision ministry, and they sing contemporary gospel, although they'll pull out some of those hymns and them anthems, and they'll worship. Our set apart praise choir is our youth choir. Very innovative. Their leader is extremely innovative, but they worship, and it's based on biblical principles. All of our music is based on biblical principles. So you might hear something on the radio. That don't mean you're going to hear us sing it at Lewis Chapel Missionary Baptist Church. If it's not Bible-based, we're not singing. Okay? The children's church, our children's choir director is second to none. They are, I'm smiling. I know I'm smiling. They are phenomenal. I'll put it to you this way. My children, my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren have all been part of children's church. What else? You had another part to that question.
Tell us a little bit about the accomplishments of the music ministry.
Wow.
And some of the things that the music and worship for arts ministry has done in the past.
Okay. We have a I'm going to talk about worshipful arts right now. We have our praise dancers. We have praise dancers who are adults. We have praise dancers who are, seniors, excuse me, praise dancers who are young adults, and praise dancers who are youth. They're not only females, there are male praise dancers as well. And we encourage each of our youth to use their gifts. So that falls under worshipful arts. We have mimes, and those young people, again, that's the gift that they feel God has given them. And so they have an avenue to express that. We have through our Department of Christian Education, in connection with the Minister of Music and Worshipful Arts, they collaborate each year on either a Christmas program or an Easter program. And we've done that for years, and each year it's gotten more, it improves with the gifts that people bring to that particular ministry. I'm thinking there's something else that was just in my head and it just went out. And so did Dr. O'Neill. Where you go?
Hey, it's just us. It's our stream now.
Our stream now. So
okay, I'm back.
Oh, okay. Listen, I was about to take over. Okay.
Pastor was about to go ahead. He was about to go ahead with it. So that's done in conjunction. We, over the years, I will share with you that our
accomplishments, we
recorded a CD.
Okay.
It recorded a live CD. They have gone, choir's gone on
we went on tour.
Mm-hmm. They have also won like Sunday Gospel Best for the area. They've won those awards.
Yes.
And
I know of the church for its the workshops that you all used to have, the summer gospel workshops, and you all have hosted folks like Ricky Dillard.
We had Ricky Dillard.
Kurt Carr.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We've had Marette Brown.
Marette Brown Clark. Yes.
Yeah.
And his name leaves me. You know who I'm talking about, Dr. McNeil.
I know what you're talking about, but
I can't think of it. He's been twice, and we loved both times when he came.
Yeah, he's a clinician from he does Hampton music workshops, but I cannot think of his name.
I can't think of his name either. I can see him clear as day with his black glasses on. At your height.
But that does give me opportunity to say this. There were a multitude of things that were part of the vision of our former minister of music.
Yeah.
That God put on his heart.
Yeah.
And back to the original thing that I said, I want this person to operate in their own gifts. So I'm not going to say, hey, our last minister of music, it was on his heart to have an annual music conference. And so you're going to have to do that now, because that was the last person's vision.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I just don't think you can be effective in ministry trying to execute somebody else's vision. God will give you the vision he wants you to have, and then you execute that to the best of your God-given ability.
Yes.
So even though we have done those things in the past, that does not mean that the person that comes in has to do those things. So they will do the things that we sit down and they talk to and they have a passion for, and we'll go in that direction. I believe ministry is best when it does what works today. And see, a lot of ministries, they still doing what worked 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 30 years ago, because it worked then. And then they're like, why? I don't understand why we can't get the same reaction. I can't understand why people not coming to church. It's because you're doing what worked instead of what works. And so that's really at the foundation of how I pastor and how I lead. Matter of fact, let me say this. We don't do the same thing 2 years in a row.
No, we don't.
Even when they're like, Pastor, that was great. The reason I don't is because you're going to turn it into a tradition and you're going to give it power that it don't need to have. We did it this year because it was relevant this year. It was effective this year. You're going to do it next year because it worked last year. That don't work. Find something that works this year. And if in 2 years you want to return to it because we took a year off for it, we can circle back to it. But that's how we stay fresh. That's how we stay relevant. That's how we stay pushing new ideas and send us into new spaces.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Those of you that are joining in now, I'm seeing some folks say good afternoon. Willie Sparrow, Glenn McMillan, who is from the Fayetteville area. Glad to see you, Christopher Patton, Vincent Bursey. I am here today talking with Reverend Dr. Christopher Stackhouse Sr., and Beverly Grayman Rich, who represent Lewis Chapel Missionary Baptist Church in Fayetteville, North Carolina. And they are looking for a full-time minister of music and worship for arts. Now, next question for you both is, what is it like to live in Fayetteville, North Carolina? For somebody that might be interested in this position, but unfamiliar with the city and that region, what would you say to them about Fayetteville, being in Fayetteville?
Sister Rich, I yield the floor.
All right. I will say, he's yielding the floor because I'm originally from New York City. I grew up in Harlem. So you wonder why I'm here. I'm here, however, and have been here for 40 plus years. Fayetteville is in a great spot in the state of North Carolina. You're 2 hours from the beach and you're 4 hours from the mountains. You're connected to 95. You can do that whole coastal thing. You can do Georgia, you can do South Carolina, go all the way down to Florida if you want. Very, very great location. You can hang out in Raleigh, you can hang out in Durham. Fayetteville is evolving. It's coming along. I'm not going to tell you that it's Raleigh or Durham. It's not. But you have an opportunity to become part of this community and help develop it a little bit more, take advantage of what we have here. And we do have some good stuff here. We've got the baseball team. You know, we try to support that. You asked me the name of the team. Can't remember. It starts with an S.
It's the S. Lord have mercy. It's the Woodpeckers.
Okay, don't start with an S. It starts with a W.
Close enough, though. It's in the latter part of the alphabet.
Was that close? Okay. We have the prestigious Fayetteville State University baccalaureate programs, master's programs, and of course, doctoral programs. I, of course, graduated.
And we have Methodist University, which is going to be only the third college in North Carolina. And I think in there, and the number of colleges nationally is even shorter than that has a medical program for for people to become doctors. So that we're really excited about getting that right here in Fayetteville.
And that's in conjunction with K-Fair Valley Health, which is our health system, which is growing at leaps and bounds. There's a lot to do in Fayetteville. I mean, again, I'm not going to tell you it's Raleigh or Durham, but you make where you live, you make it what you want it to be. I enjoy Fayetteville. I would move back to New York City.
All right. We have another question here. It says, I've had this question asked to me, so I ask it here. This is from Christopher Patton. It says, is the spaces the applicant will be working wheelchair compliant?
Yes. Yeah. Although the dais, pulpit and choir area is raised, there is a lift right on the side. We did a remodel of our whole sanctuary, so the lift itself is only about 2.5 years old. Works very well. So yeah, anybody in the music ministry that needs access on and off of that area is no problem whatsoever. Also, one thing you got to know about Fayetteville: this is a military town.
Oh yeah.
Leave that. This is a military town. Fort Liberty, formerly Fort Bragg, and I think the current president, just changed it back to Fort Bragg. 90%, and that might be too low. 90% of the people in Fayetteville have some type of military tie somewhere, somehow. Well, wouldn't you say that? That's a pretty accurate percentage.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
It is the largest Army military installation in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So you understand when you come here, the military is present in one way or another, whether it's military spouse, kid, grandchild, whatever. So you should know that as well. It is a very family friendly. It is a very family friendly town. I know people call it Vietnam, but that's for what it was, not what it is. And right. yeah. I'm raising my kids here, no issues, no problems. So it is a very family friendly town, city, whatever you want to call it. It is a very family friendly city. The police chief is Black. The sheriff is Black. Half the judges here, actually over half the judges here are Black. Over half of city council is Black. Over half of county commissioners are Black. So this is a chocolate city too.
Say what, Miss Rich?
I said, and the mayor's Black.
Oh yeah, and the mayor is Black. So yeah, it's a very, but Fayetteville is a great city. Fayetteville is a great city. It is not fast paced. So don't come here. Don't come here thinking it's gonna be like New York or Charlotte or whatever. It ain't. It's not bug tussle. Bug tussle. So some small little one, but it is not a major city. It's the perfect mid-sized city. I think you could say.
And
yes, somebody was asking about quartet singing. When the Kingsmen / men's choir sing, they normally throw a quartet song in there. Shout out to you, Brother Rudy. You know who I'm looking at.
Yeah, that was Donald Knight asking about quartet. And he asked this question here: is a recording in the choir's future?
Depends on the minister of music. Depends on the minister of music. When I tell you there has to be a meeting of visions, because I can't want it more than you want it. And if you don't want it, I ain't gonna be bothered with it. I got the minister of music of this position has the ability to shape. You really do. You have the ability to shape. If I don't trust you to do the job, I ain't gonna hire you to do it. So if I trust you to do it, then I trust you to have a vision for it. And you don't have to come in the door having a vision. So I think we put unfair expectations on people to come through the door having a vision. How can you have a vision for a thing and you don't really even know what the thing is yet? So come in, get a feel for the ministry, get a feel for the people, get a heart for what is happening, and the vision will begin to develop itself, and God will water it. So yeah, if that is part of what is laid on the minister of music's heart, we're gonna have a conversation about it. But I ain't gonna, but it ain't, because if I gotta push, then that means I also gotta push you to do it. And once again, I got other stuff to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, folks, this has been a wonderful conversation with Dr. Christopher Stackhouse and Beverly Grayman Rich from Lewis Chapel Missionary Baptist Church in Fayetteville, North Carolina. They are looking for a full-time minister of music and worshipful arts. It's a very comprehensive job description. You can find the detailed job description on my job board, and the website is ticking down there at the bottom of your screen, drtonymcneil.com/jobs, and just click on the Lewis Chapel thumbnail, and the full job description will be there for you to read. Now, there is a preferred deadline for applications, and we've started receiving them already. And I want to thank those of you who have applied, and those of you that are thinking about applying, and those of you that are in the process of applying. You need to get your materials in by June 15th. Now, that is the preferred deadline. The job will remain open until it's filled. All right. But if you want your application to be taken very seriously, I strongly encourage you to get your materials in before that June 15th deadline. And all of that information is listed on the last page of the job description. All of the things that you need to submit, and all the particulars around those requested materials. So if you know of someone who is interested in leading a pretty robust music ministry, music and arts ministry, whether they're in North Carolina or not, encourage them to apply. Send the job description to them. Send this video to them, or if you don't want to type their name in the chat, send the DM to them to encourage them to watch this video to learn more about the church. Pastor, thank you so much. Miss Beverly, thank you so much. Any parting words, Miss Beverly, before we go? And then Pastor, I'll let you say the final words, and then we'll sign off.
Thank you, Dr. McNeil. Just wanted to share with those who are interested that the search team consists of a voted upon member from each choir. In addition to that, we also have 2 members out at large from the congregation. And we also have a musician representative on the team as well. So all choirs are represented. All entities are represented. And that's it.
Good. Pastor, any final words before we sign off?
I'm very excited about this process. I cannot wait to see what the result of it will be. I trust that it will be just wonderful. And so to everybody that is watching, thank you for your time. And to everybody that will apply, I thank you for your submission. And may God be with us all.
Yeah. Wonderful. And thank you, Pastor and Miss Rich, for trusting me with being your worship consultant for the process. I'm enjoying the journey with you, and look forward to spreading the word even more between now and June the 15th, and hoping that those of you who are watching this live and those that will watch it in the playback will also help us spread the word about this amazing opportunity for the job of full-time minister of music and worship for arts at Lewis Chapel Missionary Baptist Church in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Thank you, everybody, for joining this pop-up conversation. And until the next time, y'all be blessed. Have a great Pentecost Sunday tomorrow, for those of you that will be attending worship, and enjoy your weekend. Thanks, everybody.
You too. Bye-bye.
Pastor, you and Rich, stay on.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a great Saturday.